Hi there. Welcome. My name's Nigel Springett. I'm a chartered psychologist and I specialize in Kundalini therapy. That is, helping people who have had a Kundalini awakening work through their more difficult symptoms. And I have the great pleasure to work alongside my wife and trusted companion, Tara Springett, in our Kundalini practice. And what I would like to do is to share with you today the test that she developed to help assess whether the, the client actually has had a Kundalini awakening, or is this some other syndrome, if you like. So firstly, what we do is to look back as to when this all started. When did these confusing symptoms start? And typically for Kundalini awakening, then there was some kind of experience that was way outside the normal range. And typically that was as part of a spiritual retreat, or perhaps some spiritual ritual where hands were laid on, etc. But it can also be triggered by other kind of extreme experiences. So for instance, we've had clients where maybe drugs induced the awakening, or it could have been something like unrequited love, where there was a passionate desire to be with somebody, but that desire was never returned. And from that episode of extreme experience, then certain things start arising. We have a list of 5 typical aspects. The first is a much more heightened interest in spirituality, and often that comes in the form of the huge wish to desire, and huge desire rather, to unite with your higher consciousness, be that God, be that Buddha, be that just a general idea of a loving presence in the universe. The second is highest or an increased energy movements in the body. So that can be strange experiences, like having maybe in your stomach a kind of sense of a kind of washing machine there, kind of moving energy around. It can also be very pleasant feelings of waves of energy running through your body, maybe through your arms. It can be things like head pressure, the sense of pressure going right up to your head and getting stuck there. Often people have the experiences of energy coming up through the spine, but actually that is more unusual than usual. The third area is heightened sensitivity. So increased sensitivity to things like sounds, to smells, and maybe to vibrations in a room. So picking up the vibes from other people, and finding those maybe harder to cope with, to deal with, compared to how you were maybe at work before you had this awakening. Another area is a magnification of emotional life, and that would be in part negative emotions, things like anxiety, anger, depression, etc. But it also can be the positive side, maybe massive feelings of bliss and massive sense of contentment, but these will oscillate quite strongly with the negative, and so you go on a kind of roller coaster ride of emotional life. The last and the least common criterion for assessing whether somebody's had a Kundalini awakening is that of the paranormal. Now, what it starts evolving is things like very highly unusual coincidences, way beyond chance in one's life. Maybe the ability to read people's minds and to sense what they're thinking, what they're feeling, Often it's the thoughts and the emotions that they are suppressing, but it's like you're able to see through the mask, we could say. Also, we have clients who start sensing the future. They start developing an ability for clairvoyance, and alongside things like the telepathy. So there we have it, a number of indicators that this is a true Kundalini awakening, and I really hope that that information is useful to you and helps you to assess where you are, what is causing the symptoms that you're experiencing. Bye for now.